Hi, everyone.
Hi, welcome.
Welcome to Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
and me, Banshee. Welcome to our monthly modality messages. The moon is going into, the sun. The sun is going into.
But you know what? The moon is always going somewhere, but the sun is moving into Pisces.
And in actuality, I know I should be wearing blue for the watery Pisces, but I'm wearing green today for abundance because the moon is in Taurus, speaking of the moon.
But I decided to finally get around and create a different look for the modality messages camera views.
Bravo.
And so I hope you like it. It's supposed to look a little bit purpley and astrologically. Hope so.
Astro-colory. Okay, that sounds good. And he did a great job. I like your little lettering there. That's very nice.
Thank you, ma'am. That's called Luminari.
Okay, and very fancy. And so we're going to get going with our readings. You know, this is a unique spread that goes with, or spreads that go with the modalities of the zodiac, which are different from the elemental signs because the modalities include one sign from each of the elements.
Right. The modalities are only 3 in number. There are fixed, mutable, and cardinal. Not necessarily in that order. I think cardinal signs are first. But the idea is that whatever sign you are in your modality, you have a part of the energy of that modality. So for cardinals, it's maybe kind of starting things, right?
Yeah, initiating things, being the change agents, sort of, but really initiating things. We like to start trouble.
So fixed signs have a different quality. That's more me.
Yeah.
Their quality is more to kind of make sure things maintain. They sort of maintain things.
Things are running smoothly.
And then there's the mutable signs.
The mutables are the flexible ones. Well, maybe we could tweak this a little bit here. Maybe we could tweak this a little bit there.
But the idea is that over the course of a month or whatever period of time, each of those modalities has a different role to play in how events are worked on by the signs in those modalities. So this is to give you kind of a clue or a sign or a way of understanding what you're up against this month.
Right. So we're going to start with the cardinal signs, and the cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. This reading is for you.
And because we go along with the astrological sun signs, this reading is good from today, February 18th, through the end of the sun in Pisces, which should be around March 21st or so normally.
And the sun will be going into Aries, my birthday season. Woohoo!
Everything's always about Aries.
No, it's about my birthday season, really.
Okay, that too. So thanks for watching, everybody. We hope you get something out of this.
Absolutely.
So, Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, this is for you.
And let's see what we have here. What changes will you initiate this month? What's going on, cardinal signs? Ooh. And that's what does it say at the top?
Mutable water. Which would be Pisces.
We are initiating changes, I think, in the creative realms, in the emotional realms. You know, maybe we're starting new creative projects up and coming.
Well, it could also be, too, that maybe we are going to be tapping into our innate intuition of some sort. We're going to reflect on things maybe a little bit mystically, semi-soberly, perhaps, but definitely with intuition.
Good point, Mr. O. Love that. All right. So, how will you nurture and cultivate your goals, desires, and relationships during this period? Well, we have the Six of Cups reversed, so that's a little bit unhealthy to me. It's a little bit of an unhealthy dwelling on, the past. And it's interesting, we have 2 cups here, isn't it?
Interesting.
And I think that
That kind of goes along with moving into Pisces, though, I suppose, just the emotional qualities of the sun sign.
Yeah. In other words, you might be dwelling on, things that bothered you from the past. For some reason, when I see that card, I think, of course, about your present relationships and how you nurture them. Well, it's not going to be through picking out people's faults from the past. It's from letting go from some past hurts and pains, maybe, some disappointments, emotional disappointments you've had with others around you. Give them a chance, don't just dwell on mistakes made in the past. Let it go.
Now, this could also be saying, too, that for you cardinal signs, you may not be dealing properly with trying to remind people about overly sentimental conventions. When you're trying to nurture relationships, if you're always trying to remind people about how it was back in the day, sometimes that may not work for some people. So it's that sort of thing, too, is that look ahead rather than behind, because sometimes the past wasn't always as good as we thought it was.
So how can you gain cooperation or support from others during this time period? What can help? The Ten of Swords reversed.
Stab him in the back.
No.
That'll get cooperation. No, of course.
Clearly
Ten of
not,
Swords
and
reversed.
it's reversed. So I feel that how you can gain their cooperation and support is by mending fences, I feel like it kind of ties in maybe to that Six of Cups in a way, don't you think?
It's kind of interesting because you got to put it in context, but a lot of times Ten of Swords reversed in a normal reading would say you are reversing the forces against you. This may be saying that maybe you're also doing that maybe in a more moderate way, that it's not really like, taking no prisoners, but really trying to figure out how to reverse what the wrongs were in a practical way.
The past is not the enemy here. It's your reaction to what you've went through, during that period that could be the enemy and what needs to heal.
Right. So, and your mama always said you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. So really, not necessarily trying to just get even, but basically to change the forces against you.
Your mama is a smart lady, Mr. O.
Well, that was your mama too. Even if it was only more words than deeds.
I never heard her say that as much as. Anyway. So how can your talents and resources, cardinal signs, best be put to use during this period? Well, wow, there is such
another
a
10.
I'm feeling such a pattern here beyond that. We have 2 cups and then we have 2 tens.
Interesting.
And also, why do I feel like these 3 cards here are forming some kind of triad,
Yes, because this is kind of setting a tone for the month. This is sort of talking about a little bit more of the nitty-gritty. And I think that the reverse Ten of Pentacles is kind of saying that maybe there are some hidden things there, but you may have to really dig deep, because it may be that some of the foundations of those relationships are not really sitting really well right now. And it may be more that you're going to have to apply better than just trying to get revenge, and better than just trying to over sentimentalize. You're going to have to be more practical. Anytime I see a pentacle, I think that sometimes it may say practicalities are involved, or should be.
Yes, and I really have a strong sense now, cardinal signs, that this is relating to your relationships with family, friends, people that are kind of close that you consider your family or your tribe. So I do feel there's something that needs healing and mending here.
Foundations.
Strongly. Do we want to recap this?
Yeah, so to recap, this month will find you really keen more into your intuitive energies and possibly having a mystic, semi-philosophical view of life.
And if this ties into the other 3, it might be that you are really sensing, this disturbance here in the force, that there is some unsettlement, things that are not settled from the past, and it could be from you that you are dwelling too much on them.
Use your insights and intuition for this, because also too, it's not really going to be about trying to replay past glories. It's really not going to work in that respect.
Or to hold something over somebody's head that's long should be buried. Let's bury some of these hatchets and swords here and start the healing process, cardinal signs.
Right. When you're thinking about reversing negativity, it's not necessarily about destroying it.
Yeah. And ultimately, it's about really bringing the family back together, whatever family we're speaking of here.
So use some of your insights and your new feelings about where sentimentality has gotten you to work or look into the foundation issues, because that's what needs healing.
Good luck, cardinal signs.
So that's what we have for the cardinals.
So I'm going to let you shuffle first this time. We've got the fixed signs. What's going on with you guys? That would be Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus. Mr. Scorpio.
Now, I just noticed something, too, that because of the way these things fall with, who goes into what modality, you are pretty much always in a modality that has your opposite, your 6 months opposite. So for Aries, that would be Libra. That's your actual astrological opposite.
I get along so well with Libras.
But you may have mirror issues or tendencies at times. I get along well with Tauruses, but at times they really know how to pull my chain too. I
have not met a Libra I've had a problem with. It's really interesting because, I can say that, man or woman.
And oddly enough, I tend to get along pretty well with a lot of Libras too, as you know. Shout out to Merlin and Figment. Alrighty, I got those for our fixed signs.
I shuffle.
Wait. That's right, you didn't shuffle yet.
I know.
Boy, I took a long time doing it. I guess I thought
that's okay. I got good shuffling in the beginning. So for the
just a reminder too that this has been a fun Super Tarot Love Month all month long. So we've been doing things. So check out some of our other regular shows because we have some little things in there, affirmations, work like that. But also we've been doing some Valentine verses. I had one a couple days ago, and
more is coming.
More is coming. We had fun doing the Super Bowl prediction for Super Tarot Love Month.
We had real fun doing the past life love reading as well.
So some of these are their own videos on our channel. Check them out if you have a chance.
We were right about the Super Bowl twice in a row now. I don't know how we do it.
All right, fire signs.
Anyway.
Maintaining balance.
What did you say?
Stability.
It's fixed signs.
Fixed
60 signs.
That excellent like an R.
What are the qualities you need to display in order to make a positive impression on others, you fixed signs?
8 of Wands.
Well, how about maybe slowing down, but not being, but not to the point of, not being motivated. In other words, slacking off. People sometimes, in this world today, things are happening so fast. Maybe, people need a stabilizing influence, fixed signs. So don't burn out your energy too soon during this
The other
period.
thing I'm thinking about this too is that sometimes it's also about directness. And so this is saying make sure that your movement and your action are direct.
And your communication, definitely.
Absolutely.
So 8 of Wands can be about that. So I think, if you want to make a positive impression, make sure you take care in what you say. All right.
Card 2, what can I share with others or allow others to share with me? And it's the 5 of Cups reversed.
I think basically I feel always pretty good about the 5 of Cups reversed, and I feel that you should allow others to share their dreams, their desires, and also their ideas, their creative ideas. Like if this is in the workplace, for example, or in some kind of group affiliation. Let them share, their feelings about stuff.
When I put the 5 of Cups reversed into this context, and it's what I can share as well as what I'm sharing, being shared with, I also get the feeling here too that this is saying we're sharing our success stories. We're sharing the things things that brought us back from an abyss or brought us back from a bad turn or whatever it is. So we're sharing what worked for us, what came back to our lives, what manifested.
Okay, so what role will your connections or the connections you make, your friends, families, associates, intimate partners play in this cycle? Wow, what
Leo
a support group you have right now.
Yeah, the fixed signs apparently have some great support here right now. It is also, too, that maybe the guidance that also comes from within is suggesting that we are in alignment with our heart and our desire and have balance in a good way.
And this may also say to make sure the connections you have are, affirming you, that they're good for you, that they're not bringing you down. I feel this is obviously the case, but it's also just a reminder you want to surround yourself with people who make you stronger and vice versa.
You usually hang around with people who are like you, so your friends are mostly like you, and that means is that they're fair-minded and they know when to apply the right energies and when to really be more loving about it. Okay, so then finally, card 4. How will I be able to achieve a balance between work and pleasure? And it's the Nine of Swords reversed.
Yeah, doing things, you know what? I think that you need to do things to de-stress, decompress, leave the anxieties of work at work. Basically, don't take them home and stay up at night gnashing your teeth, grinding your teeth.
Because what this card really shows in a way is that maybe we had, or sometimes in general, we have a tendency to maybe think too much about that kind of an external, and we don't check it at the door when we leave. And this is a reminder, the Nine of Swords reverse is saying those things aren't really for you to have to think about 24/7. You shouldn't have to go home and think for hours and then go to sleep and worry all night about the job or something that's bothering you at work. There is a time and a place for everything. You need to compartmentalize. So shall we recap?
Yeah, we're going to recap fixed signs. So this is what we have for you. So basically, the qualities you need to show and to make a positive impression on others is to just guard your thoughts, actions, and deeds. Make sure that you represent yourself well. That also guard against burnout. Maybe that's what this is again, because people will notice, and I think because of that Nine of Swords there later on, that just seems like it could be a problem now.
Be direct and remember that sometimes haste makes waste.
Yes. And then finally, with what you can share with others, allow others to share with you their victories, their strengths, their goals, their dreams, their desires,
stories,
their ideas for change. Maybe they have a breakthrough that could really help.
Your friends are more like you than not. They will nurture you because they believe in the same things about justice and power and what the relationship should be between them that you do.
There's a true, strive for a true power sharing between you and your connections this month.
That's a good
Frankly,
point.
Because this card is here in the way it is, I believe it'll be easy to achieve.
That's that one?
Yep.
So then finally, with that Nine of Swords reversed, I think this is saying don't take it home, or that you have that attitude to not take it home, really, or you are achieving it. Don't take everything home with you, or don't take everything to work with you. Don't take your marital problems or your child rearing problems over to work. Nobody needs that either. So it is a two-way street.
Totally agree.
It's about the balance between those things.
Yep.
So that's what we have.
To that
that's
if
what
you
we
wanted
have. Fixed
me to.
signs. No, I'm sorry. Did I sort of steal your thunder?
What happened there, Mr. O? It's okay.
I guess I feel like I'm on a time thing here, and I'm not really.
I can't imagine. Time has no meaning here on our videos.
This is true because I can always edit out the bad stuff or the obtuse or lengthy stuff. So now we're going to move on to the mutable signs, which are Sagittarius, Pisces, Gemini, and Virgo.
Okay, you mutables. Let's see.
You tend to be more the change agents. You shuffle too.
Yeah, I have to.
I know. Sometimes I look at that list and I say, well, that one is a change agent, But they all are, really. It's just that sometimes their orientation really flies against what we think needs to be changed, perhaps. People get comfortable in things and don't always want something to change. These guys are here to say, au contraire.
All right.
All right.
So basically, well, mutables, how will you need to shift your perspective during this cycle? What about that perspective? Well, maybe you have to take some time to retreat within and do some more inner work, or just do some study, into some esoteric areas. I think this is about meditation. I think this is about retreat. I think this is about trying to gain inner wisdom.
I think for this month, Banshee's right here, you need to maybe spend a little more time introspective. You don't have to do serious meditation necessarily. Maybe you just need to use your own system. Flip your own cards, open up a book, and just pull a random page and see what's there. But beyond that, it is really about going within yourself and listening to yourself.
Those voices in your head. All right, so let's see how others' emotions are affecting you. And look, we've got strength reversed this time. So I feel like there's something off balance here. There may be some, some people may be having some problems. And, they might need to lean on you a little bit this period.
Sometimes I feel that the mutables do have their potentials to be more reactive to stimuli, not necessarily bad, sometimes good. So I feel like this is saying maybe that other people's emotions are maybe making you feel weaker at this time, or maybe making you doubt your love connection with certain people or things like that.
Yeah, so let's go on. What do I need to know or find out to better position myself for success? Okay, mutable signs, what do you need to know to position yourself for success? Wow, this came up again.
The Nine of Swords, but
thought we shuffled pretty well. This is upright this time, too, which indicates to me that you have to decide what's real and illusory as far as your anxieties go. Sometimes we put ourselves through a lot of needless worry and stress. So is that what you're doing right now? So the best way to position yourself for success is to figure out, is this real or not? Why am I putting myself through this?
Right. This is a card oftentimes where it feels like it's really external, but yet it's affecting you. And this should not necessarily be. Things that really are beyond your ken or beyond your responsibility, you can be involved with them, but you should not let them overly concern you to the point of crippling behavior. So this is saying avoid that and try to, as Banshee says, work it out, see what the truth is, what is really going on.
And finally, what kind of adjustments will you mutable signs need to make this month in order to be more effective and achieve success? Well, we got the Queen of Wands reversed, so temper, temper, temper. I don't know if this falls into this Nine of Swords card here in that you need to figure out what it is that's really worrying and stressing you out so much. I feel the Queen of Wands is a little aggressive because she's letting things get to her. I don't know. I feel that way, that she's just letting things build to the point of...
I sort of feel like this energy definitely needs to pull in from the Hermit's energy and saying, take a moment and relax, because I do feel that Queen of Wands reversed, it might be the temper situation too, but I also feel too that they're out of sorts because they don't feel they have a grasp on their PR, so to speak, their social appearance. They're not in charge of how they seem to be presenting. That may be totally their fault in this situation, you guys. So it is a warning about that, to make sure you don't let it bother you over much. It may just be perceptual. You might not necessarily be able to change everything, but you can work at it.
So let's recap. And you know what? As we recap, I'm just looking at that first card, the Hermit there. And it does say how you need to shift your perspective during the cycle. And I think this is the key for the whole reading is you need to dig deep to find out what is wrong here. Okay, so I think the Hermit is about introspection, and I really think what it's saying is, if things get out of control in this cycle for you, mutable signs, take some steps back, and take some time to reflect.
It's pretty clear that mutables are going to have more of a problem this month, and I would suppose that maybe, like I mentioned before, they tend to be a little bit more the signs that can be reactive, and we're in the month of Pisces, which is a very emotional feeling sign, very at times contradictory. It's the fish swimming away from each other. So I agree with that totally. Take the time you need to calm down and be rational, ground yourself.
And others, take to heart that, it's okay to prop somebody up and give them a little help when they need it, but don't become an enabler. It's like I feel that they could drain you this month with some of their problems and issues, or you will feel that way. You might come away less recharged after dealing with people this month.
Sometimes it's not about being unconcerned about them, but it's about modeling better behavior. Maybe you need to just model a little bit stronger emotional resonance for them, and just subtly suggest that this is what they could be doing
and
too.
You have your boundaries. You have your boundaries, so there's nothing wrong with that. The Nine of Swords, see, also kind of falls into this to me because it's what you need to know to find out or better position yourself for success. And it's kind of like, well, why are you letting all this anxiety and stuff building up inside of you? Is it real? Is it yours to bear, or are you bearing someone else's cross? So that's where the Hermit comes in. Do some introspection here.
And I just had an amazing thought because, of course... An epiphany, truly, because the Nine of Swords is like 3 times the Three of Swords, which is a pretty sad card too. And maybe this is saying that really you need to magnify that in order to get beyond it, that you just really need to pull that in, absorb it, and really say, I'm outside that. I've pulled it in so that I can look at it a little bit more detached and move beyond it, ascend over it.
And finally, the adjustments you need to make is like, look, just breathe before you speak or act and do something that, people won't appreciate. Try to hold your anger in check. If something is making you, kind of explode, go back to the Hermit, internalize, go back inward and see what the problem really is.
Right. No acting out here, not even necessarily a hint of that. Just kind of take it in reserve and remember, next month is better, next week is better, maybe next hour is better.
That's right. Good job, Mr. O.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, thanks for joining us today for this, our monthly modality messages. Hope you enjoyed it, got something out of it, and stay tuned for more with us. And we will see you during, and here's the good news. Mercury is going direct February 20th.
Yeah, so we only got 2 more days.
And the weather's been horrible for a lot of us. Focus on the fact spring is coming. When we see you next, spring is coming.
So take care, everybody.
We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.